Meeting call to order. We have a roll call.
Dr. Robinson? Here. Mr. West?
Here.
Dr. Buck? Mrs. Ware? Here. Mr. James?
Here. For adoption of the agenda. Anything need to be changed to add as we
So moved.
Been moved and seconded, all in favor? Aye. Passes 4-0. Public comments, no. We don't have any. Item number 5, recognition and presentation. 5.1.
Mr. James, members of the board, our administrators are here today to provide you some academic updates on their buildings. We'll start with McLaurin, followed by Morgantown, followed by Natchez Middle School, Natchez Early College, and then Natchez High School.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Board President, Mr. James, Ms. McDonald, the Superintendent, and board members. McLaurin proficiency data for reading, ELA is 45%. The math is 45%.
Know what you go.
Okay. The school goals. The school goals for this year, proficiency reading is 45%. Math proficiency 45%. We no longer have science in McLaurin. Our growth of all for reading is 68%. Our math is 75% growth of all. Our LPS, or bottom 25, is 72% in reading. Math, 80% LPS. And our school goal total is 449.8 for this year. So far for the first 9 weeks benchmark data, proficiency for reading is 32.8. Math, 47.9 proficiency, we have exceeded the 45. Growth of all, 75.1, exceeded the 68. Math, growth of all, 89.8, we exceeded the 75. Growth, or LPS, the bottom 25%, or the LPS, 67, not too far from the 72. 80, our goal is 80 in math, but we're at 62.3, and we are monitoring that data, and we are moving towards getting that 80% for LPS and math. And right now, we're at 437B, but this is the first 9 weeks data, and we're moving in January, looking at second 9 weeks data because we finished the second 9 weeks exam. And next steps are we're going to continue to monitor the data, and also we're going to make data-driven decisions at McLaurin to make sure we're getting the aid that we said we wanted to get this year. Any questions?
Okay.
Thank you.
Morgantown?
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Okay, at Morgantown, our school goals are in that first part. Proficiency goal for reading is 49%, for math is 43%, for science 61%, growth of all 59% for reading, 59% for math, and our LPS students, the bottom 25%, goal for reading is 74%. Goal for math is 52% with a goal of 396D. On our first benchmark assessment, our proficiency was down for reading, math, and science. Our growth all was above the goal for reading and math at 72.6 and 67.5. For our bottom 25, the reading almost met the goal, we didn't quite get the goal. Math, we were almost to the goal as well, 8. So for the first benchmark, we had our accountability rating would be a 358C. As you can see, we are working toward it. This is our first 9 weeks. Again, to Taylor Brown said, we will have the second benchmark assessment results and data in January. Our total school enrollment at this time is 359. Enrollment is down from the beginning of the year. In August, it was at 381. Our student ADA is 94.23%. Our goal is 95. It is down some for November. We had a lot of illnesses, people going home sick for, so I think that accounts for some of the absences. The percent of students with 2 or more absences for the month, it went up a little bit to 47%. Our teacher attendance rate was at 91%, and number of discipline referrals was at 54 for November. And most of those are minor issues. Our next steps for our accountability rating, we are working on intervention schedules. Right now we have an intervention schedule in place for our tier students. We are looking to also look at those, we call them boost students, and those students to move them to proficiency, to focus on getting our students to proficiency.
Let me ask a question. For the months of September and October, the teacher attendance rate was lower, and also the discipline referrals were higher. Is there any particular reason for that you can share with us?
I know that when we do have substitutes, our discipline is a little bit higher when we do have subs in the classroom. So I'm sure that kind of made the connection.
At the beginning of the school year, we did have 2 permanent subs, one on 6th grade and one on 5th grade hall, but now those teachers have returned.
Yes.
Okay.
And most of the discipline referrals that were coming in were coming from the subs. Any more questions?
Good afternoon. Mr. George, Mr. James, Mr. McDonald Green. I'm bringing a report from Natchez Middle School, and we'll start off with our school goals. Getting a little ambitious, we aim to be a leadership, but our reading proficiency, our aim is a 42.7, math proficiency, 47.7, and our science proficiency is a 47. Overall, our aim is 55%, in reading, 66% in math, and our overall for our reading is, in our bottom 25 is 68% for reading and 67% for math. And that will give us a B, which is our aim for this year. And based on our first benchmark, we are off a little bit. So in our proficiency in reading, we have a 26.5, which is down. In math, a 27.3, which is also off the mark. As you can see, in growth off of reading, 46.1 we're approaching. In math, 42.1, which is off. And for growth off our bottom 25, 61.6% compared to 68, which is approaching really close, and 48% or 48.1% in math, which gives us a total from the first benchmark of a B. But our aim, being ambitious, is a B. And some of our plans to kind of target some of these areas, we're going to focus heavily on teachers, building teacher capacity, and making sure we're keeping a close eye on data and making data-informed decisions. We're going to have ongoing PLCs to kind of touch and target those areas and make sure we look at our students are progressing in that trend data. And for our school enrollment data, we are now, in November, we are at 394. Students with 2 or more absences for the month of November is at 27%, which is 105. And the discipline referrals are at 87. Let me step back a bit. Because we have some missing data. And for our student ADA,
We have 357 for the month of November, and teacher attendance rate for the month of November is 81%. Do we have any questions for Natchez Middle School?
Question?
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mr. James, members of the board, Mrs. Macomb Green. I am presenting the data for Natchez Early College. So for our school goals, for reading, our proficiency goal is 81%. For growth, all and growth of the promising 25, our goal is 100%. For math proficiency, 76% is our goal. And again, growth for growth all and the promising 25 is 100%. For biology, our goal is 80%. For U.S. history, our goal is also 80%. So as of the first benchmark assessment, we are approaching those goals, yet we have not met any of them. For reading, benchmark 1, 64% proficiency, growth all, 69%, growth of the promising 25, 50%. For math, slightly off from that goal, 74% proficiency, growth all, 81%, growth of the promising 25, 82%. For science, benchmark 1, 74%, slightly off from our goal, and for U.S. history, 62%. Looking at our enrollment has remained the same from the beginning of the school year up until November at 176. Our current ADA for November is 97.39. Our percentage of students with 2 or more absences is 5% for the month of November, and our teacher attendance rate is 92%. For discipline, I did omit that number on your paper, but we do have 21 infractions, and I will say that there was one incident that involved a number of students, so that's why that number is much higher than in previous months. So as far as action steps for attaining those goals, we're gonna continue to listen to the data. Once we get that benchmark 2 data, we're gonna have PLCs to analyze that data and come up with action plans to identify students who need interventions or students who need enrichment, ongoing professional development and support for our teachers, and of course, we'll continue our by-campus professional development with Natchez High School because, as you know, we do share an accountability rating. Any questions?
Yeah, what's in this blue right here?
So,
The blue?
Yeah.
Okay. Total point / grade. So of course we don't have our own accountability.
No, it's some black right here.
Black,
Total points, it just,
Total
title, category. It just says total points. There's no number there because her accountability.
No,
So it would,
no, I thought they had something here.
Yes,
Black right here.
so your grade is combined with the high?
our grade, our data is combined to give one accountability
Okay,
grade.
okay.
Yeah, I need some special glasses on. Alright.
Good afternoon, Mr. James, members of the board, Ms. McDonald. I'm presenting from Natchez High School. If you notice, at the top, it has TSI check, but Natchez High has exited the TSI status for the state.
What's that?
What that mean?
Targeted support for, math, but we exited that. We have a goal of 35% proficiency in reading, 30% proficiency in math, 30% proficiency in biology, and 35% proficiency in U.S. history. Our proficiency goals for growth all in reading, 62%, math, 82%. Our proficiency goals for growth goals for the bottom 25%, 68%, and math is 95%. According to our first benchmark data, we exceeded our proficiency goal in reading with 43%. Our growth all percentage was 73%, which exceeded the goal of 62%. And our growth for the bottom 25% was 98%, which exceeded the goal of 68%. Our area that we are really focusing on is math because we are not reaching our goals according to the first benchmark assessment. we had 6% proficiency, our goal was 30%. For growth all, we had 56.5%, the goal was 82. And for the bottom 25%, we have 39%, and the goal is 95. For science, for biology, we exceeded the goal, we had 35.9, the goal was 30%. And for US history, we met the goal of exactly 35%.
And let me pause there, Ms. Reynolds. For math, we also had some concerns about our assessment. And so we are expecting, we believe that there was an issue with that first 9 weeks benchmark assessment. So we are looking to see what that data is going to look like for benchmark 2. So we've already addressed that.
For the total school enrollment for November, we had a total enrollment of 612 students. Our student ADA was 90.15%. The percentage of students with 2 or more absences for the month was 35%, and that's 214 students. Our teacher attendance rate was 97.3, and the number of disciplinary referrals was 125. And again, we had a high number due to uniform violations, cell phone violations, and vaping. But we must say the fights have decreased drastically.
So do you have an uncounted number for December?
No.
Has it gone down, you think?
As far as, no, it has not, because we are honing in on the tardies. We have a group of students that drive and they like to hang out in the parking lot, so until they see the seriousness of it, they will continue to receive the tardies, so. Hopefully, January, they come back realizing that they will spend time in ISS or home.
I'll come back with no call.
That would be ideal.
The 694B/B,
That's the goal.
right, that's the goal for both, in combination of Natchez College and the high school, is that correct?
Yes.
All right.
And we are offering after-school tutorial services until testing time also. That is the, how the allocation is being spent, that's listed on the last page.
That's good.
Thank you.
I wanna ask, Sandra, I wanna ask you a question, I wanna ask Suzanne a question. In terms of our special needs population, what percentage of those special needs of our population are enrolled in our school?
And I actually have that on my desk, and I can get it for you before that meeting is over. Is Ms. Bassett in here? We'll get that number for you. We'll get that number for you. I think I shared some of it last month, but I'll need that much information.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Hooper is here. Mr. Hooper does not have any data to present, but Mr. Hooper, if you just give the board a brief update on Natchez options.
She emphasized the brief.
You know when Mr. Hooper talks about his children, he go all day.
Last one to talk to us. Good evening, greetings on behalf of Natchez Options Academy. Currently, when I left the school building, I think we have approximately 27 to 28 students enrolled in Natchez Options Academy. Out of 27 to 28, 5 of those students currently are credit recovery students, and the rest of those students are in school for behavior reasons as well. On average, like I said, I didn't do any data. If I was asked to, I would have done such. On average, out of the 26, 27, 28 students we have, on average, no more than 2 students are absent a day. That was one of our goals at the beginning of the year, was to improve absenteeism at our school. So our attendance has been pretty good at Natchez Options Academy. Our teacher attendance has been pretty good. Over the course of the year, we've only had 1 minor fight too as well. So I think we're moving in the right direction. If you come visit Natchez Options Academy, unlike in the past, you won't see any students sleep. When students are sleeping in the classroom, they are asked to redirect to wake up. If they don't do that, they'll come to my office. I call the parents, have them sit with me, find some things to do or whatever. So some of the things you see in the past, you won't see if you come visit our school. Students are engaged in online instruction through great results.
I wanna ask one question. How does this number that we presently have compare to the number that we had under the other system? And under ombudsman, in terms of number of kids?
I wasn't there with ombudsman, I know one difference we have, I can
Xander,
break
you
it
know?
down.
The numbers decreased.
Okay.
Anytime that we have improved, behaviors at the high school and at middle school,
Mhm.
that's gonna decrease the number of options. And so because we've had a significant decrease in, fighting at the high school and habitual offenses at the middle school, we have seen a significant decrease at the options academy.
One thing also is one of the goals, make sure we're gonna try our best to decrease that merry-go-round, the students coming right back. The revolving door policy, shall I say, student coming right back to the ombudsman. While Natchez-Adams Academy, we've only had one child that left our school that returned to our school since school year began. So I think that's making a difference as well.
You come up front.
Thank you.
Jack.
So what do we have in place?
Jack.
Thank you, Mr.
You come up front.
Ma'am, we have consultants who are working with our teachers. Math has been a problem since the pandemic. It has. And so we're continuing to build teacher capacity through consultants. We have math PLCs where teachers are working collaboratively in order to make certain that they are aware of what those standards require for students to do, making certain that those lessons are aligned to those assessments.
Dave, write this down. Get some other type of water. Don't give us on sale, that's all I'm saying. Get something else, Sunday or something. And drink feed. Okay, where we at?
So let me do say I applaud and board, please, I applaud the work of our administrators in making certain that we are keeping an eye on our data, that we are making data-driven decisions. We applaud our teachers. This week we've had a series of data updates in order to drill down. We're looking at student performance, we're looking at teacher and grade level performance, so really targeting those areas that are in need of additional support. My administrators can tell you I push really, really hard. But the goal and the vision is always on student outcomes, it's all about student success. Okay, so thank you all. I know they enjoy their rest. Yes, I am proud of them.
What I heard. Alright. Approve of November 2021, 2024 special call meeting. Approve of November 21, 2024 regular meeting minutes. Can I get approval?
Second.
We moved and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Pass 4-0. Okay, approve of consent item. Anything in consent item, would you like to move to action item? If not, can I get approval?
So moved.
Second.
We moved and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Passes 4-0. 8.1.
Good afternoon, Mr. James, members of the board, Ms. McDonald, Mrs. Kinley. On behalf of the superintendent, the Office of Human Resources, this is reporting for December 17th, 2024 personnel board report, which you have in front of you. It is the recommendation of the superintendent that the board of trustees approve the report. Are there any questions about the board report or the HR updates?
Before we approve that, I would like to find it and look at it.
There's a hard copy outside right there.
The salary.
It must be.
8.1. It's not in, it's not
That's
in,
in here, but I made your copy just so you don't have to search through.
so it's the same thing? Okay. Okay,
Any more questions?
I move for approval of personnel report.
It's been moved and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Passes 4-0. 8.2.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of the board.
Superintendent, Mr. Council, you have before you item 8.2, approval of claim dockets and acceptance of the financial reports. Within your packet information would be the claim docket for the November financial report. Also, there are expenditure budget reports and capital project summary. All that was attached also. Before we get to the superintendent's recommendation, I just wanted to pause and see if there were any questions about any of the reports included thus far.
No. And
If there aren't any questions, then it's the superintendent's recommendation that the board of trustees approve the aforementioned claims dockets and accept the financial reports as presented to the board for review.
So moved.
Second.
you move it, and all in favor?
Aye.
8.3, I think that's me again.
Yes, sir.
You have in front of you the approval of transfer of 16 section interest. The state guidance allows the school district to transfer the interest earned from the 16 section investments from our 16 section fund to our general fund for general use each year pending board's review. In December of each year, our investment advisor provides us the interest that was earned for the year that can be distributed pending the board's review. That amount is attached this year, showing what this year amount is, and also in the middle of the page on the background information, we presented the last 3 years of the distributions of the general fund also for review, just to see how the funds have been performing, so you can see that. I will pause before we get to the recommendation to see if there are any questions about the transfer.
Just tell us what you want.
This is good news. Good news bird now, right?
Good news. The good
Yeah,
news is when
so-
you get up there and you say, I don't want that.
It's okay, well, I guess we gotta ask for the transfer then. So,
How much is it for this year
this year it is $567,502.
compared to last year?
Last year it was
300.
$513,109.
Okay.
And you said, for general use.
Yes, you can
So-
take those earnings if the
Huh?
board approves it. You can take the interest earned. and-
I understand
Yes.
that,
and we're
but
gonna-
you said for general use, so
Yes.
when we approve that or whatever we're gonna do, and it's for general use for the district, what does that all entail?
It just is all of the costs included in general fund.
Anything
It's
you want to do.
anything. It's the salaries that go, the maintenance, it's just all of the general
So-
fund operations. It just
It's part of
goes
our
into our
operational
fund to assist with
Huh?
that.
Part of our operational
Okay.
budget.
Okay.
Yes,
So my question, I guess I'm finna ask is,
correct.
we did this last year,
Yes,
and we had our ESSA funds, right?
yes.
So did we use, I guess what I'm trying to ask is, how much of this was used in addition to the ESSA funds that we ran out of ESSA funds?
How much was you, well,
That is the question I'm asking.
well, they're attracting the different funds. I have to go, I mean, there'll be two different numbers, cause they're.
I know it
tracked
because when you
separately.
say general use,
Yeah.
you're looking at probably curriculums or whatever for the district.
Yes, it's for,
But the ESSA funds also had money allocated for certain things like that as well, or that's federal program.
it'll be federal
That's
policy, so
federal program.
everything
Okay.
will be tracked
So
separately.
in addition, I guess what I'm trying to ask you all is, are we duplicating how we're spending the funds?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
We're not duplicating
No,
how
ma'am,
we're
they're
spending
going
the
into
funds.
two separate funds. So federal funds has its separate coding, general funds, district funds that are separate from federal has its own separate codings. And so if something is being paid for out of federal funds, it's coming out of that specific account.
That's
If it's something that's coming from general, then it's coming out of that account. So no, ma'am, there's no duplication.
So none of the ESSA money was spent for general.
No, ESSER funds were spent on whatever that the board approved for our budget, if that was, purchasing curriculum, if that was purchasing PPE, if that was, after-school tutorial, if it was intercession, those funds were earmarked and came from just that ESSER fund.
Okay, I want to know about general use
Yes.
and how these dollars are being spent that the board may need to know about.
Well, in addition to that concern, ESSER funds are limited in terms of categorically, in terms of how they can be spent.
That's
So,
correct.
so within limitations, there's only a certain amount of things you can do with the ESSER funds as opposed to the general
I
fund.
understand it, but I was just questioning of what all that was gonna
That's right.
entail.
And they do not commingle at all. They're
No.
completely separate.
Okay,
No, they're very strict. It's a very strict regime around it, so.
okay.
Bird said he need that money. Bird. We need a motion to give Mr. Bird that money.
Give them a,
Okay, I'll offer motion to give you that money.
It's the general fund, you get the money, that's right.
All in favor?
take this business money.
I mean, Mr. Bird, I think.
You just can't spend the money.
Bad news, Bird.
That's good news, man. You see the
Man,
performance
just
each
like
year?
a person gets dressed up to go to a Christmas program. And everything going smooth, and then you that chicken that get up and act for a collection. Why, Jim?
Well, I got hope for the future. We'll see.
Okay,
See how
then.
it goes.
All right, thank you, Mr. Bird. Ah, man, 8.4. Ms. Bassett.
Good afternoon, Mr. James, members of the board, Ms. McDonald. 8.4 is the approval of the fiscal year 25 project application. It's the assurance form that assures that we do not have any new provisions or revised policies or procedures to pass the assurance that is agreed upon within that project.
Okay. She need approval. That's special.
So moved.
Any questions?
Second.
It's been moved and second, all in favor? It passes 4-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
8.5. Ms. Butler?
Good afternoon, Mr. James, members of the board, Superintendent McDonald Green, and all other central office leadership members. For your review and approval is our social emotional learning program for one of our schools, our equitable services school. Social emotional learning, or SEL, is a vital component of student development, which focuses on the skills that students need to manage their emotions. At this time, we are asking the board to approve a special vendor who provides SEL at one of our schools through equitable services.
When you say one of your schools, this Adams County Christian School, correct?
Yes,
It
sir.
is, yes, sir.
Okay, okay. And these are consultants, this is a consultant contract, I guess, that we are trying to approve, right?
It is, yes, sir.
Okay, can you tell us what the amount is?
It's 10,000, sir.
Okay,
And that's actually comparable to other vendors. With any federal spending, it is our goal to ensure that all services are reasonable, allocable, and necessary. So, this, proposal is comparable to other vendors who provide SEL services to our students, whether it's, at a school who is under the umbrella of equitable services, or to one of our schools in our local education, agencies, governance. So either or, it's very comparable to others. Thank you for asking.
I was not asking for that purpose, I was asking for the purpose of making sure that the people in the community knew what it was and what the amount was.
Perfect question, thank you. Yes, it is used, our federal dollars are used to, support our public and private schools.
Correct.
So when does it go into effect? Because it says for the academic year, 400 hours. So has it already started yet? No?
No, ma'am,
No.
thank you for asking again. It will only take place after the board approves.
Okay.
Okay. You approve?
So, did you,
Thank you all.
she made a motion? I second.
It's been moved and second, all in favor?
Aye.
And it passes 4-0. Okay, thank you, Ms. Butler. Mr. Peters.
Mr. James, members of the board, seeking approval for the Natchez High School and Natchez Early College Beta Club for overnight travel for Biloxi for the Beta Club convention in February, and also the Natchez High School AFJ ROTC out-of-state travel in January.
So where the ROTC is going?
They're going to Monroe.
Monroe.
Yes, ma'am.
No cost?
No cost to the student. We'll provide the transportation.
This is something that we do every year, right?
Yes, sir.
So moved.
Second?
You moved and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Passes 4-0. It's you again.
Thank you, Mr. James, members of the board. And we'll take these separately. Asking for approval for the use of Braden, the auditorium for the Natchez Children's Christmas Tree Fund, where they will give kids presents on Christmas Eve.
This is the same thing that
We do it.
Every year, yeah, every year.
Do we require the same when somebody else is using our facility? Do we have the same requirements
Yes, sir.
as it relates to insurance or whatever? Those
Yes, sir,
kinds
but I
of
think,
things?
in the past, we have, the board has, relaxed that for this particular organization.
Okay.
So when are they requesting use of the building?
They will come in on the 23rd to set up, and
Okay.
then on the 24th, they will distribute the presents, the toys.
I move that we approve their request for the use facilities for the Christmas tree gift.
So moved.
Been moved and, second.
They didn't need a 1 second?
No, but she made the motion.
Oh, second.
Yeah.
Right.
All in favor?
Aye.
It passes 4-0. Okay, here we got the.
I didn't hear.
I know you didn't.
I didn't.
Cause we had two more, both of y'all made the same motion.
Mr. James and members of the board, for your consideration, the NBA is asking to use one of our facilities.
Is Shaq coming?
Shaq won't be here, but hopefully through this program, we can create our own Shaq. This is the Natchez basketball.
But Pooh would be here.
See that, Pooh? Thought she was your friend.
That's a compliment.
Natchez Basketball Association, they want to bring a youth league. And as you know, we haven't had a youth league since the city shut down their program that was going on at Martin. We'll say that it is desperately needed. And we do have Mr. Hickenbottom, Mr. Dwayne Hickenbottom here, who looking to do this. So I'll ask the board if we can give Mr. Hickenbottom just a few words.
Yeah, he's with the NBA. We got it here.
Good evening to the board. I'm here to start a basketball league for the youth in Natchez, and if I'm approved by the board, I'm looking to start around January or something like that, and maybe run it 2.5 to 3 months.
Okay.
And we're just gonna use the gym like on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and maybe Saturday. And I have my insurance in place, just waiting on approval.
Okay. And just make sure we get a schedule.
I will.
We can come out and visit
I will.
as well.
I so moved that we send a letter to the NBA, tell them the NBA is having, whatever.
They send me so.
Okay.
Second.
Well, that's good. It's been moved and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Passes 4-0. You good?
All right.
Okay.
It's my cousin.
Thank you so much for bringing it back to our communities.
Hoover got a part in it.
That's my cousin, sir.
You got a part in it?
No, sir.
Retract that.
If you ask me, Steve Moore ain't gonna be a part of it, he all about the church. Turn around.
No, the funeral.
He wants somebody to die for
Nah, he's not getting it. Okay, 8.8. Who was 8.8? That's you.
Bruce is 8.8.
Members of the board, there had been a request from the Boys and Girls Club of Southwest Mississippi to use a portion of the Robert Lewis Middle School for some of their activities. They've submitted the area that they would like to use. Some of it's exclusive to them, other parts are non-exclusive. We've prepared a draft of the lease, and then I got some additional information here, like their proper name and their address. But it proposes based on the findings that the board makes about how it improves the social, economic, community values, suggesting a $1 per year lease and for a 3-year term beginning January 1st of 2025. It has the insurance requirements of it. So.
Mr. Red, that's your lease, right? I want to ask you a question. Come on. I want you to explain, so they're saying in January, you'd be ready to start in January with that?
I just put that down. Tell me.
Do you know when?
Mr. Pittman, the CEO who came before you to make that request from COM, scheduled to be here, but there was an unfortunate accident with a family member, so he wasn't able to make it. But he said he might be on Zoom. I don't know who controls the Zoom.
That's fine.
But he would be the one to give you those numbers.
So I will tell you, in speaking with Mr. Pittman a couple of weeks ago, once the board authorizes Attorney Kingley to present that draft lease, then he has to present it to his executive board. They will make a determination of whether or not they will approve the board, and then it will come back. So it probably will be at least another month or so.
Okay, FYI, that's fine.
All of which can be modified when the actual dates occur.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved seven, all in favor?
Aye.
Passes 4-0. Okay, item number 9, 30-day review. Mr. Fields, anything?
In your back.
Okay. Board calendar. Ms. Davis, you got anything for the board calendar? Okay. We don't have anything for you. Superintendent's update.
Superintendent's update. It hasn't been a busy term 2. We're looking forward to Christmas break starting Friday.
What's wrong with y'all?
I'm serious.
Thanks,
Thought y'all liked this.
Not tired.
Wow.
Hey, he's on the keyboard.
So we invite the board out to partake of our Christmas festivities on tomorrow, where the elementary schools performance, elementary, middle school, and high school choirs, bands, strings, all of them will perform for us for our annual Christmas concert tomorrow at Natchez High School, starting at 6:30.
6:30 tomorrow evening?
Yes, sir. So please come out to.
I can't stay up that late.
We're timely and we're brief. Amen. Very time conscious.
Well, what happened to when you all had the Christmas dinner upstairs in this building? Oh, you don't remember?
Yes, ma'am, I remember.
What happened to it?
I don't have that heavy platinum American Express card.
Oh, okay.
But we have some things in the works.
You did?
Yeah, my card plastic. He is
Tomorrow,
Taco.
come to Taco tomorrow. Taco something.
Who's tomorrow?
Who's it? We doing
Federal
this?
code. Louis. And then, you know, come on down.
You'll get some information. You'll get some
Okay.
information.
Okay.
Yeah, but his card was heavier than my card. Thank you, Mr. Butcher. I had an opportunity to meet with the PTA presidents of all of the units here in Natchez-Adams School District. Had a very productive meeting. We're looking forward to hosting a joint PTA meeting in the month of January, where the PTA units are going to be provide informational sessions for our parents in the community. Hopefully will also be the time that we're going to celebrate our scholars for the first semester. That is tentatively scheduled for January the 28th. At 6 o'clock in Natchez High School. Just one additional, we received notice from the Mississippi Department of Education, Department of the School Financial Services, providing us information regarding the estimate for the ad valorem payment to the charter school for this school year. So based upon the enrollment that they currently have, this year we will, in January, Mr. Byrd will make certain to remit to the Instant Impact Global Charter School a check in the amount of $900,383.61.
That just took up the interest that you got from the 16th section money.
Let me ask this question. Were you able to do any investigation as to how we can make sure that there's verification of the number of students at these particular institutions?
You sure need to find out.
So what happens is the charter school goes through the same process of uploading their student rosters to their authorizing board, their charter board. So the district received a list of students who are enrolled at the charter school, and it was our task to verify that those addresses were within the boundaries of Natchez-Adams School District. We were able to do that and verify it, and so they have a count. They submitted a count of 159 students enrolled at the charter school.
And we were able to verify that
With the information that was presented to us from the Department of Ed, that we were able to verify that those addresses were within our school district.
It doesn't necessarily mean that there were kids at those addresses.
We have no way of identifying if a student is actually in a seat at the charter school. We are only provided the roster of student names with addresses, and we have to verify those addresses.
And this is the State Department of Education, that's their position?
That's the process that they presented to us, yes, sir.
We gotta go a bit deeper. We need to get other tasks. I know.
I guess it would just cost us more money to try to knock on everybody's door and that kind of thing. You'd have to have another employee to do that too.
I know how to do it.
You know how to do it?
See, everybody in here knows somebody. You get the names that were supposed to be out there, you track those kids, and you see them kids back over in your district. That's how you find out. I done seen a child or so that was and back here. See, cause the money gone.
Yeah, the money
And once
gone
the
there.
money gone,
Over
you
there.
come back.
Yeah.
I think this is probably something, this particular situation is probably something we ought to call attention to our legislative delegation about this, what could very well be a shortcoming or whatever the case may be in verification. They already get away with some other things that they are not required to do that we are required to do.
Right.
Okay, but I think it'd be good if we just bring it to their attention, our concern. So maybe, Bruce, could you write up a letter to that effect?
Yes, sir.
So, and we could copy it to all of our legislative delegation. Whether they'll do anything about it or not is another question, but at least, bring it to their attention.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Make aware of your concern, sure.
Right. Because if it's $900-some thousand, $550, I don't know what that comes to, but if say 30 kids or 20 kids are not where they say they are, that's probably $100,000.
Yeah.
Right, okay, or whatever.
Yeah, so that's all of my updates.
Is school board comments, Dr. Rouse?
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Stay safe.
Mr. Webb?
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Stay safe.
Happy holiday.
Same from me. Happy holiday. Okay. Anything you all want to say? PTA.
I do want to say one thing. Alcorn State University basketball will be having Jackson State versus Alcorn State on January the 4th. It will be a televised game, and we are inviting the community to come and take a part of our festivities. If you get the QR code, which will be posted on social media, you'll get to eat free in Sodexo's Dining Hall. So we want you to join us and come bond with us. So this will be a great 2025 season. Thank you. January the 4th.
We'd also like to recognize
That's what I was about to.
presence.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was gonna recognize the newly installed president of Alcorn State University. We want to give you a hand and hope you stay a while.
And, we're talking about PTA, I went to the Morgantown PTA. Short, straight to the point, 30 minutes to 45 minutes, you in your car. That's where you have a PTA. I meant to some, but it's 30 minutes. Got a little program, they go straight by the program, nothing else. It was nice. That's right, it's straight. So you wanna come in the morning and get out there in 30 minutes, go on out there.
I told me you had one and you left early.
Always. That's right. The girls basketball team was at LSU Sunday. Was it Sunday? Yeah, it was at Sunday. The girls were there that Sunday. I seen them there that Sunday. Ran into them Sunday. And I didn't even know the coach. Yeah, I know him, but it was another coach. Yeah. Ain't no Coach Todd. It was how you be hanging. I looked at this. Somebody hollered at me. Hey, Dang, how you doing? I kept looking at him. He ball here now.
It's time to go.
We need to close determination.
That's one thing, you close
All of
determination.
them, we have a closed determination.
It's been moved and seconded, all in favor? Passes 4-0. Close determination. Thank you all.
Is it legal or personal?
Dr.